G'day guys, and welcome to another product review. Today I'm reviewing 3 of my go-to reels, from the cheapest being the DEAREST LT2000 at $79 to the TD Black MQ 2000S purchased at $249, and the TD Soul 3 LT 4000DC. And that model there is the older model. The current model has converted to MQ. Okay, starting off with the cheapest reel, purchased at $79 on BCF website. They've now currently got a newer model out, so they had a clearance. There is still the opportunity to buy this particular reel. It's the 2000S LT DEAREST. You can still purchase this online for $79. It's out there. You have to do your digging around. And I must say, I'm not one for buying cheaper reels, but if you want to break into the Daiwa market, this is it. So you've got the L, the DEAREST, couple of features there. The ratio is 5:1, not too bad, at 215 grams, so it's not the lightest of the 2000 size reels, but it will do. Maximum drag of 5 kilos. Now, as you'll see in one of my videos, I recently hooked up and finally landed a giant carp. I think it was close to 20 pounds, if not 15, but it was I didn't have I couldn't weigh it, so massive chunk of a carp, put it that way. On a 1 to 3 kilo rod, struggled to do up the drag on this thing to reel it in, so it's obviously a finesse reel. You're not going to be targeting large giant fish with this particular 2000 size. It's only got the 5 kilo drag max, and there's your other ratio there. They're saying that 68 centimeters per crank. That's how much line you'll peel in at every crank, and it's only got 4 ball bearings. So over time it will become a bit loose and rattle around a little bit. And the long cast, well, they're very much down pat on that. It does cast quite a fair distance with a 3 gram lure, for instance. I was absolutely pinging that soft plastic around. I've managed to spool this up with 6-pound braid with a 6-pound leader. I did have mono on there, which is probably recommended for some of these cheaper reels. The spools aren't as braid compatible as the dearer reels. It's the material they use, and over time it will start cutting into the spool. So make sure you've got some backing on there. But even with the casting, it will start gripping onto there. Mind you, Daiwa do pretty well with their cheap end reels. It looks exactly like a sole, just they've changed the colour of the air rotor. It's black. You've got a thinner bar arm. It's just a steel bar arm. It's not that flimsy, so it's still better than some of the other brands. I've found that in the Shimano bar arms, you can easily bend them if you drop them in the bag and you're pressing up against your bag. You've got the tendency to bend them. I couldn't be any happier. I've used it on several trips and I'm really happy with it. And I purely use this for freshwater fishing, so if anyone else is using it for saltwater, let me know in the comments. How long did it last? Did it live up to the expectations? Because I just, you only have to take the spool off. You'll see in a minute. There's a little bit of corrosion going on down there, and that's from just using. I'm only using this in the freshwater. Hasn't touched any saltwater fishing. So I don't know, maybe I've been a little bit lazy rinsing it off. I should take a bit more care rinsing off. Even though it's been using it in fresh water and the reservoirs and freshwater streams, still probably needs a good rinse. So I haven't done that, but it seems alright in there. It's not any moisture in the air rotor at all, so still reasonably sealed for $79. You can't go wrong. And that's my number one choice for a $79 reel. I've looked at several cheap reels and this one's done it. Another great reel by Daiwa. So we've got TD Black MQ at 2000S. You'll see a video up on that one. Make sure you check that one out. You'll see that the screaming drag that it has. It's got a lovely sounding drag, and that's one thing I like about fishing reels. I love to hear that reel screaming when it hook up to a decent sized fish. And there's the specs there again, if you can see it, a little bit blurry. I'll read it out to you. So you've got the gear ratio, a little bit on the, it's also a low end gear ratio, but it's only a 2000 size. That's the most important thing there, is the grams, 175 grams. Reason being is it's now got the, you've got the Xeon V body, the MQ body shell, and then it's also got the mag sealed technology. We're also looking at, with the mag seal technology they've come up with now, they've gone up a new level. You don't have anti-reverse in these reels anymore, so there's no anti-reverse options on the current range of Daiwa reels with MQ. So yeah, I've noticed that. So every single Daiwa reel that comes out from now on that has MQ in their name also is likely to be a fully sealed reel as well. You also have maximum drag of only 5 kilos. This is a brim reel, so you're not going to need any more than that. But you might be in trouble if you hook a mull away. And then, yeah, again, it's only 67 centimeters per crank. And you've got 6 ball bearings. And you start becoming more of a mid to high range reel once you start passing that 6 ball bearing or more. This has actually got, I didn't read this on the website, I did read this on the website, sorry, that actually has 6 + 1 + 1, so you've actually got 6 in the internals, 1 on the roller, and they include another ball bearing. If you take the spool off, you'll see there's ball bearings there as well, like a ring. So they put a few extra ones on these DEAREST reels. Yeah, so there's not much to talk about. All the specs are there, and I just reckon it's a fantastic buy for the price. So $249 I paid for this. Make sure you get the BCF club card if you want that discount. The usual price is $349, so you know you're getting bang for buck at that discount price. And other tackle stores will have it at a cheaper price as they try and clear stock. So no, fantastic. In fact, out of all reels in my cabinet, this one's probably the most budget friendly high end reel. So if you want to break into those high end reels for fishing, especially soft plastics and hard bodies, I don't use any of these reels for bait fishing. It's all lure fishing. 6 pound braid, 6 pound leader, sometimes 4 pound leader. But yeah, can't complain. Now the final reel is the TD Sol 3 4000D. That's the LT range. Now this is very old. This is probably coming up to probably 2, maybe 3 years old. I bought this back way back at the start of, I think it was, could have been 2020. It's when I started fishing again. Like, I found the passion to go fishing again. It's almost one of my first reels I bought in a long time. So when in my earlier days, back when I was a teenager, I had a 2000 size, and I've never looked back. This is how I broke into the Daiwa range. So it's a little bit scuffed up. Absolutely had a workout on the Australian salmon, as you can see on my channel. If you check that out, there's plenty of salmon videos. There's a playlist that you can check out where I catch a whole heap of salmon on this thing. Occasionally another reel appears. The TD Sol 4000 gets it done. And one of the beauties about this reel, it's lightweight for its size at 225. Got a gear ratio for 5:1, sorry. Maximum drag of 12 kilos. So if you do hook that big one, which I have, you can eventually get it in, lock it up, get that drag locked up to at least 10 kilos. You don't want to go to the max all the time. You've got 82 centimeters per crank, so a fair bit of line you pull on in with ball bearings of 9. Now you'll notice this doesn't have, it has a mag sealed mechanism. It also has the Xeon body keeping it light. You'll see there with the CRBB, and that's where you get those extra bearings on the drag system and internals there. You also got the air rotor, which is pretty standard. All this sort of stuff's standard with reels these days. But this is the most expensive reel. They're currently $3.99, so I think I bought this for about that as well. The newer models are between $3.99 and maybe even $4.99. I purely use this for salmon fishing. Nothing much else. You can pelt those lures right out into the surf. You pair it with a nice long surf rod. 20-pound braid with 20-pound leader. I don't go any heavier than that. You can if you like. It is recommended on the spool. It says 20 pounds, so 20 pound it is. But yeah, this is going back to the older ones, so they don't have that extra seal on them. They're not the MQ. These are the older ones, and they've got anti-reverse still within them. So anti-reverse is still there, so you're likely to still replace parts on this one. But in saying that, if you see one of these on Marketplace or heavily discounted, make sure you go out and buy one. I've dropped this in the water a bit and had it submerged in the sand, and I've taken it all apart. In fact, there's a video where I've serviced this reel. You can check that out if you like. And yeah, as long as you keep it up to date, new parts if parts go, keep it nice and clean, you'll last. They can last up to 10 or 20 years if you look after them. And then obviously you can't get parts, which I had trouble with my 2000 size. It was that old that it was struggling to find parts for it. So yeah, it's got a limited time. But now they've updated to the MQ, yeah, I'm almost tempted to update this reel as well. Whoops. Anyway, that will do for now. That's the review of all 3 of my reels that I currently use on my channel. As you can see there, ranging from the cheapest to the dearest. Let me know in the comments what your favourite reel is, what your experiences were with them, and catch us in the next one. Thanks for watching.